I'm recording another video. Unlike previous times, this time I don't really have anything specific that I wanted to address. It's just more so that I can't stop thinking and looping about stuff. So I figured I'd just start talking and see where I go, just to try and be able to sleep. But yeah, I think the last video I made was quite aggressive. Yeah. I started reading some philosophy texts recently, and I also happened to watch some YouTube videos that were quite good. But I don't know. My YouTube feed is quite mixed with all the fucking Gen Z this, epidemic, blah blah blah, crisis, blah blah blah, why Gen Z sucks, this and that, whatever. It's all so fucking annoying, but yeah, and I don't know. The only Gen Z people I really interact with are at work, and they're all pretty chill. Social media is completely fucked though. Everyone on social media is fucking insane. But I don't know. I mean, to be fair, everyone who's on social media goes outside eventually. So the same people that I'm oh, they're chill IRL, maybe they're fucking schizos on social media. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a uniquely Gen Z problem. But I think there's this weird feeling of older generations are kind of oh yeah, that's just how it is, which I don't know if I don't think that's intellectual nihilism or whatever. It's more just laziness, or I guess it depends on who you ask. I have one coworker who I think is very much just a nihilist, or I think he likes Nietzsche a lot, so I don't know if that makes him a nihilist or not, but he's very much of the mindset of yeah, everyone sucks, so just do whatever the fuck you want, which, I mean, I can understand that. I just can't bring myself to do that, I guess. I don't know. It's just I just don't like the idea that I'm alone, you know? I don't like the idea that I'm the only one, the only real person. I can't get over it. But I don't know. One other thing I've been doing is I've been schizo ranting to AI, mostly to the Google Gemini thing. I'm just fucking ranting, fucking schizo posting, until I get it to agree agree with me and tell me how amazing. Oh, you're absolutely right. This, and this. But nah, on a serious note, it's mostly just I kind of been doing that instead of making videos because getting the feedback is nice. The glaze is kind of annoying because it's it'll reinterpret everything I say in the weirdest, most charitable kind of way possible. Even if I say something completely stupid, it'll just yeah, whatever. But yeah, going through that has made me kind of disillusioned with people in society in general. No, I guess I was already disillusioned, but fuck it. But yeah, the framing on social media is very strange. Everything seems to be a Gen Z epidemic or a Gen Z problem or whatever, and I don't quite think that it is. I think like, okay, to set the stage broadly, I think people are just self-interested, tribalistic, uh, and just kind of greedy in general. Um, I was reading a lot of Schopenhauer, um, and Stirner, and like people like that, which I don't entirely. I think a lot of what they're saying is kind of, it's very Ayn Rand, like super short-sighted type shit. Um, but like I kind of agree with their assessment of like the human condition, or like just everyone's kind of evil. And I think the best among us are at least honest that they're evil, if that makes sense. Where it's like you go about your life trying to do what's best for yourself, and that's basically it. And cooperating most with other people most of the time is in your own best interest. But everyone wants to like self-delude themselves into being like, oh no, I'm not doing this because it benefits me. I'm doing this because I'm just such a good person, which just fucking nonsense. Like an obvious example, like people will be like, oh well, I often do things without expecting anything in return, and it's like, no, you're expecting some sort of like, for example, if you give a homeless person like $5 or whatever on the street, you're like, oh, I'm just doing it out of charity. Like, that's not true. You can say you're not expecting anything in return, but you're at least expecting them to be grateful, right? If you gave that person $5 and they like cussed you out and like got mad at you, you wouldn't feel very good. You'd probably regret giving them $5, right? Like you're doing that for a sense of like moral superiority, like more or less. Like it's just for your ego. Because that $5 isn't gonna do, like if you're being honest, $5 isn't gonna do shit. Like they'll buy some water, maybe something to eat for like, that'll cover them for like a few hours. It's like you haven't really done shit. But anyway, so yeah, I think people broadly are kind of greedy, self-interested, doing what's in their own best interest. And that is all fine, but it's that self-delusion that I think is just kind of disgusting. Because it'll happen a lot in like like again, humans are super tribalistic, social contract theory, blah blah blah. Everyone, like if you're born into a nation, you have to follow the nation's laws. I'm sorry, I'm schizo ranting. How do I put this? Like all the political content I see is always framed as like, oh, we're the morally good guys and we're fighting against the morally bad guys. And the reality is just like, oh, I'm fighting for the thing that benefits me the most, and I'm gonna shame you into being on my side because it's most beneficial for me. And it's like, if you were to say that, I could at least respect it. But like, you unironically have deluded yourself into thinking that you're doing this because you're such a good person and that everyone else is such a terrible person. The reality is you're all fucking stupid, okay? You're all stupid and you're all doing it for your own self-interest. You've just fucking convinced yourselves otherwise. Man, I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who haven't convinced themselves otherwise, but obviously it's like socially stigmatized to admit that. You'll get labeled like schizoid, or narcissistic, or sociopathic, or whatever the fuck. but honestly, I think I would prefer dealing with a sociopath as long as they were like honest. Like I would like if I'm dealing with a sociopath who is trying to trick me, like that's insulting. Like, bro, like, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. It's like I already I already think you're being performative and lying. So if you can either admit it and we can move past it, or you can continue thinking that I'm too stupid to realize it and then I'm just gonna get upset. If that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Fuck. Uh, um, but yeah. That's probably not a good way to view the world, but I don't know. Experience has showed me that that's usually the case. I don't know if other people ever think about this shit. I feel like they don't. Um, but then again, when I'm in public, I don't exactly talk about this either. So who the fuck knows? Maybe everyone's going home and fucking screaming at Claude about how fucking terrible everybody is. Yeah. And we're all just fucking going down a schizo spiral at home, and then just going out normally afterwards. Yeah, I'd like to believe that. I don't know. Fuck, where was I going with this? Yeah, I was reading philosophy books. Max Stirner, Schopenhauer, fucking Ayn Rand. God, what the fuck was the other? Arthur Rawls, I think. John Rawls. John Rawls. Fuck, I'm blanking. There were like 5 different books that I was reading. Fuck, but I don't know. Yeah, TLDR, I was basically just like, oh yeah, most people are tribalistic, doing things out of their own self-interest, but they haven't, how do I explain it? It's all in-group, out-group stuff, and so the easiest way and the most beneficial way to look out for yourself is basically to find an in-group and fiercely defend it. But I think the most honest way is to kind of recognize that everything is in-group, out-group, and just kind of reject that. And then look for people that are willing to cooperate on a basis other than like arbitrary characteristics. Which, yeah, I guess on the surface that sounds like super fucking basic, but I think when you get down to examples, that's when it becomes more controversial, I guess. Because I don't think people recognize just how niche an in-group can be, or how broad an in-group can be, right? Like women versus men, that's an in-group. Or women is an in-group, men is an in-group, whatever. And then you can get down to like super niche, like person born in X city at X time, goes to X school. You're like your group of school friends is another in-group, right? It could be, and in the sense of like the broad in-groups, there tends to be a sort of like monolith association where it's like like all men, but it's like you don't you don't actually relate with any of the people for like any viable reason. You know what I mean? Where it's like, fuck. Like I can defend my experience as a man, but I'm not going to defend other men, if that makes sense. Right? Because, like, just because I share the same genitals doesn't, you know, fucking mean we have the same values or the same lived experience or blah, blah, blah. And I think it's really fucking stupid when people basically, yeah. Yeah, I think it's very clear what I'm trying to get at. I think it's probably it's a very unpopular take, or I think it's a popular LARP that people will always be like, oh yeah, no, I don't see the world this way, when in reality, you just haven't pointed out their in group yet. But I think it's really a very unpopular take in general. And I think that's a shame. I wish there were other people that were intellectually honest. Oh well.